Now, Zainab Bangura is the UN Special Representative on Sexual Violence. Horrifying stories, those. Is the DRC particularly unusual?
Not exactly. The only peculiar issue with the DRC is that first, it's very huge. Secondly, I just came back from the DRC. I was there for about 2 weeks. You have a lot of local militia. In South Kivu, you have 22 groups of local militias. In the North Kivu, you have 20.
But these attacks, which these men say were committed on the orders of officers or with the authorization and authority of officers, took place right under the noses of the UN's biggest peacekeeping force.
The UN were in the province, but not in Minova itself. Because I visited the brigade, the general who commands the brigade that actually engaged in the issue of sexual violence. The UN was in Goma, in Bukavu, but not in Minova.
Do you think this question of sexual violence in war zones and elsewhere, refugee camps and the like, do you think it's growing?
It is. The more intense the conflict becomes, the more you have the incidence of sexual violence.
Do you have any indication of why that is?
Our guess is that first and foremost it has to do with the dynamics of conflicts. Most conflicts are fought now, especially in Africa. Well, you had Bosnia and you had Colombia within a country. And so when they start fighting, what they do, they go against the opposition, the women, the children on the other side. As I told you, I just came back from DRC. There was a village, I visited a community where children as young as 6 months, 11 children between the ages of 6 months to 12 months were raped last year.
These were babies?
Exactly. Babies between the ages of 6 months to 12 months, 11 of them, 59 between the ages of 1 year to 3 years.
You haven't by any chance either yourself interrogated or seen records of interrogation of perpetrators of these crimes? I mean, why are they doing it?
I have not been able to do it. I spoke to the president on the 29th of March. I had a discussion with President Kabila. He himself just confirmed what the lady said on the reports, that last year before Goma fell, prisoners in the prison, 70% of them were military. 30% of those military were people who had committed rape. And the reason being that a lot of them were local militia who were integrated into the army.
You know, most of us simply can't understand why a man would behave like that. I mean, it's almost incomprehensible. We know that the G8 is going to discuss this over the next day or so. Is there any chance of their achieving anything, do you think?
I think that is the reason why we're trying to make sure people who commit the crime can't hide anymore. I spoke to a brigade of soldiers, and they do agree that unless and until we start prosecuting people, ensure that people who commit this crime actually are sent to jail. For the old parts of it, most of them go scot-free. And this is the reason why we have signed an agreement with the government of Congo to be able to ensure that we end impunity. You try them, you prosecute them, and you send them to jail. That's where they belong. They don't belong to live with us as decent human beings. And I think without the national governments developing the political will to take the necessary action, you can't wait for the ICC. But at the national level, for all those foot soldiers who committed this rape in Minova, you can't take all of them to the ICC. So the national governments have to take national ownership, leadership, and responsibility to ensure that anybody who commits this crime is actually prosecuted. I think that's a priority, and that's what we're working with now.
Zainab Bangura, thank you.